We are doing a quick and easy sewing tutorial today that will make you the hero of any baby shower, among other things. We are going to be making these very adorable baby bows. Now, not all bows are created equal, and I feel comfortable saying this as somebody who was a professional bow maker in a previous career. I used to run a handmade children's clothing shop where these were my best sellers. My bows genuinely are the best. I'm not cocky about a lot of things. This I feel very comfortable bragging about. Let's jump right into it. Things you will need, supplies. First off, you're going to need some scrap fabric. You really don't need much yardage at all. I just grabbed these fat quarters from my stash, and that is more than enough, that's plenty. I would recommend woven fabrics like cottons or linens, and either in solids or small prints. Then you're going to need something to attach the bow onto. You can use an alligator clip like this if the recipient has hair, either an adult or a child. Or if you want to do headbands, you can use a piece of elastic secured together in a loop, or you can use these nylon headbands, and I'll link where I get these from. You can buy them pre-made, or you can make your own by just cutting nylon stockings. You're going to need a dull pencil or a chopstick. This is actually a barbecue skewer. It's helpful to have one side that's a little bit dull and one side that's a little bit pointy, but not too pointy. Really, any long object would work. And then this is optional, but it is potentially helpful to use a little bit of hot glue if you have a hot glue gun. We are going to walk through making all three of these sizes in this video. So I'll give you the fabric dimensions for each one. And I will say I have perfected these sizes over many years. I stand by them. For the jumbo size, which is this largest bow on the bottom, cut a rectangle of fabric that is 15 inches by 2 3/4 inches. This size is mainly good for toddlers, young kids, adults to keep hair out of the face, but it can be used on a headband as well for babies if you like an oversized bow. For the classic size, which is this middle bow right here, you want to cut a rectangle that is 12.5 inches by 2 inches. And this size is my favorite because it's not too big on tiny babies, not too small on kids and adults. It's really just right for any occasion. And then if you want to make the mini size here, which is the smallest one, you want to cut a rectangle that is 4 inches by 2 inches. This size would be my preference for really little babies, especially newborns, because it doesn't overwhelm their noggin, but I'm a minimalist, to each their own. The process for making each of these is very similar, but like I said, I'm gonna walk through all of it. So let's get started. Starting with your strip of fabric, fold it in half lengthwise with the right sides of your fabric together and press. It's a bit hard to see on this fabric, but make sure that it is the right side of the fabric together. You don't want to be sewing your bow inside out. And this step is the same for any size of bow you're making, but throughout the tutorial, I'll be sure to walk through any of the steps that differ for the other sizes. Now take the strip you just pressed and hold the two short ends together, like so. I'm holding the folded side away from me and the raw edges toward me, and next snip a slight angle through all 4 layers of fabric. This doesn't have to be an exact angle, it could be as steep or shallow as you like, it just depends on how pointy you want the tips of your bow, and you can see here that I've left a small section on the top edge flat. Now it's time to sew. Starting at either short edge you just snipped, you're going to line your needle up to give a scant 1/4 inch of seam allowance. Don't start with your needle off the fabric, but instead insert it about 1/2 inch in and backstitch to the start. Make sure to follow the slanted edge that we cut, not the small flat edge that we left closest to the fold, so this line of stitching should be straight. When you get to the corner, pick your presser foot up while leaving your needle in place and pivot to go along the straight edge. You may need to readjust your needle to be at the correct seam allowance here, which is totally normal. I would recommend doing a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance, which basically just means a hair under a 1/4 inch. If anything, just make sure you're not being too generous with your seam allowance. When you get around the center of your bow strip, lift your needle and presser foot up and leave about a 1 inch gap. You don't need to measure the exact center or the exact 1 inch gap. You can really just eyeball it, and you don't need to backstitch here either. This method is very forgiving, which we love. Continue stitching until you get to the opposite end, pivot at the corner, and continue your stitch to the fold where you will backstitch again. And here's a close-up of what one finished end should look like. The process for the classic size is exactly the same, you just have a little less room to work with, but for the mini size, you won't clip your edges at all, you'll just leave them flat and straight. Once your bows have been stitched, we need to turn them inside out. But first, you're going to do a bit of snipping to reduce bulk. At each end, you'll want to snip the seam allowance at any corners, making sure not to cut into the stitching. Get close, but not too close. At the center, where you left your gap, you'll want to snip your loose thread on both sides. And of course, don't forget to snip the corners on the other end. This is where your chopstick, pencil, or in my case, barbecue skewer comes in. To turn my bow strip inside out, I'm going to find the gap I left in the center. I take the dull end of the skewer and I place it on the back side of the gap while my thumb goes into the gap and the skewer pokes the right side of the fabric through. This creates a little pocket to get the process started, and from here I'll continue pressing the fabric up into that little pocket with the dull end of the skewer, gather and press, pushing the skewer all the way through until I get to one end of the bow. At the end, you'll see that the corners are not quite as pointy as we would want them to be. Here's where I turn my skewer around and use the sharper end to poke those corners into nice points. Be careful that you're not using anything too sharp or poking too hard, otherwise your tool will go right through the fabric and create a hole, which we do not want. From here, you can see that one side of the bow is the right way while the other is still inside out. Follow the same process that we just did to get both sides out the right way, and again, this process is going to be the same for any size. Wonderful. Now we just need to press our bow strips flat with the iron. Really make sure you're pressing along the seam and that the seam isn't getting tucked in on itself as it wants to do. A good trick for this is rolling the fabric of the seam between your fingers to really get that seam out to the edge. You may have little threads from your gap poking out to say hello, just snip those off so they're not visible from the outside. All that's left to do is tie our bows. I'm going to be tying the first bow onto a headband, but if you're inserting a clip, start with the bow strip on its own. I'm going to slip my headband onto the bow strip. You don't need to worry about its placement too much yet. And I'm starting off with this edge sloped with its point toward my hand. I first make a fold, or a bunny ear as I'll call it, about 2 inches long, which might feel short to begin with, but trust the process. Then I wrap the other end around the front of our folded ear, holding the headband in this loop around the back. Next, pull the long end through the loop in the back to create the second bunny ear. At this point, you'll want a very loose bow shape like so, and you're going to begin tightening the bow slowly, making adjustments along the way to ensure that the bunny ears are similar in length. And you can see me twisting the ears from time to time, which just helps loosen things up and allows you to adjust your bow shape more easily. If you used a headband, you'll want to adjust that now through the back loop so it's laying flat. And this is how I like my bows to look. I like for my bows to have a kind of V shape on both sides. On the right side, you can see the V here. It looks like a greater than symbol. And on the left, it's a slightly shallower V or a less than symbol. I also like to ensure that there are some good puckers at the base of each bunny ear near the knot. The twisting I was doing earlier helps with that as well. Now let's tie the jumbo bow and add a clip so you can see how that looks. Tying this bigger bow is much the same, though it's a bulkier shape, so it can be slightly more difficult. One difference is that the initial bunny ear fold is closer to 3 inches than 2 inches. When attaching the clip, I first insert it unopened to find a clear channel through that back loop, and then I go back in with the clip opened so just the top edge is secured in the bow's loop. The mini is actually the most difficult to tie, at least I think so, because you're working with such a small strip of fabric. I'm also going to tie this one onto a headband, so slip that on first, and we're actually just crossing one end over the other in a simple knot. But as you can see, it's a little bit tricky to pull that end through. Again, trust the process because the result is, I think, a very well proportioned little bow. This last step is optional, but I like to secure the bow to the headband or the clip with a few tiny dots of hot glue. It's quite easy for little hands to pull on one end of the bow and unravel it, which can be frustrating to constantly retie these. I'll show the places that I like to glue down the bow, and again, I use the smallest bit of glue I can.
And you'll notice that we never sealed up the gaps we left to turn the bows the right way out. This is because after tying, and especially after hot gluing, those gaps aren't an issue at all. The bow is secured, the raw edges are safely tucked up into the knot, so you don't need to worry about them.
I like to make a coordinating set of 3 bows and then put them on a little cardstock. I think it makes them look very official, especially if you are gifting the bows. And another fun thing to do is to make 2 matching bows and then put clips on in alternating directions so that they can go into pigtails, which is very fun. I hope this tutorial was helpful. These bows are genuinely like babies to me, so let me know if you made some for your babies. And if you haven't liked or subscribed yet, what are you even doing? We get up to all sorts of crafty fun here, tutorials, sewing vlogs, random chats. So join the party and I will see you next time. Thanks for being here.